Welcome back, one and all. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm finally back in my own office and can spend some time doing readings for you guys. I did just get back yesterday after an extremely long and grueling flight. So, not quite myself, but since today is the new moon in Libra, and it feels to be something quite active, let's say. The energies are quite active around it. I did want to do a reading for you guys. I'm actually still even waiting for my luggage to be delivered at my house because they lost it. So it has been quite a trip, but my trip to Kauai was amazing and really did have an energy shift, had the opportunity to channel a lot of messages, tons and tons of information about myself, my soul origins, my soul path, my purpose, all kinds of stuff. So that, of course, using akashic enlightenment to do energy healing as well. So you guys will all feel the benefits of that when you set up private sessions with me. And in order to do that, you can use the information that is showing on the screen right now. That is my website, and you can schedule using the module at the bottom of the main webpage. Okay. So, without further ado, I just want to thank you guys for being here, and there you are. And I'm just so happy to be back and doing this. So I'm going ahead and shuffling the cards. I'm just sort of asking that we be given messages for the collective for this new moon in Libra, which is taking place today, which is 9/28 of 2019. And I do intend for this to be our weekly reading for the next week. So messages for the coming week may also come in, okay? I am on a bit of a time crunch, so I do not intend for that, of course, to affect my reading, but I only have roughly 20 minutes to give, all right? So let's just see what wants to come out. Record keepers, guides, and source. Please provide messages for the collective for their highest and best good in relation to the new moon in Libra taking place today. Okay. A few more cards, please. We're using the Wildwood Tarot. I wanted to use my new Moonchild Tarot, but it is left in my luggage somewhere in transit. So here we go. A couple more cards, please. All right. So, Four of Stones. This card calls it protection. And I was about to stop when this card popped because I felt that this was a sort of a pre-message, but this one goes along with it. This is the Five of Bows, and in this deck it's called Empowerment. So I do feel that with regard to this new moon, they're saying to know that all the transitions taking place are protected and based in your own highest and best good, i.e. your empowerment as a soul. On this earth plane, that whatever does come out for us as collective or for you as an individual, that they're literally saying no fear right now. Have no fear. Have no fear. So that to me tells me that there may be some transitional stuff going on, some more transformation, some more letting go of things that we potentially have been holding on to. I do want to say right now that I have not listened to any other recordings about this new moon, basically because I knew I was going to be doing this. So my reading might be tremendously different from what others are saying, and that's because I'm basing this on the messages from Source and from my record keepers and guides, not on any kind of astrology or anything else, which might give a different message, but I do find that they're usually similar, or at least in line in some way. Okay, so I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there so that if it's different, you don't immediately discard it, and just know that it may be coming from a slightly different perspective. Okay. But back to the message, this sort of preliminary message is really all about the fact that you are protected and that you do not need to fear the transitions that are happening now. Because I do feel with this empowerment card having come out that there are transitions happening for your highest and best good. Okay, so whatever is being taken away at this time is really because it is disempowering you in some way. It could be that some of you are doing the taking away. I just heard that, sort of the breaking of addictions. And they pointed me to the fact that while I was in Kauai, I definitely did a lot of changing of my eating habits. It is extremely tempting in the environment that I live in, because there are so many options for, convenience and things like that, to not eat the sort of whole live sort of foods that I know that I should, okay? Green foods, natural foods, fresh foods, that kind of stuff. It's very, very tempting where I live now to go for the convenient stuff. But while I was in Kauai, there really was not an option for a whole lot of that kind of stuff. I made different choices, and that is something I'm going to try to stick with. So for me, that kind of relates back to the ways that we might be making better choices in our lives, breaking sort of addictions or habits, habitual behaviors. Maybe you're not a crack addict, but if you are a sugar addict, or you do like me and might grab through a drive-through one too many times or whatever. This might also be another thing that I'm dealing with. The sense of trying to save everyone in your life, trying to be supportive, right? Which is not a negative thing, but there's always the knowing of the boundaries where you need to be, where you need to sort of stop leaking energy and take care of yourself so that you can in a more effective way help others. So that means, when people who are friends or family or whatever, even clients of mine who have become friends that may ask for a lot of help, advice, and guidance like 24/7. I mean, between everybody, I'm getting messaged 24/7 about everyone's problems and what they, what do I think or whatever, which is, I take that as a compliment that they value my opinion, but I also need to, on my end, understand where I need to sort of close that off and just be a human being sometimes. Okay, so that's another way in which sort of a codependent behavior of mine has needed to be adjusted. And so I feel like some of you are already doing that. So this is just the pre-message. Let's get into the actual message about for the collective regarding this new moon in Libra. Libra being a sign of relationship, of balance, of living in relation to other people is what they're saying. The opposite of Aries, which is all about the self, okay? Yes, okay, so as I was talking, Eight of Bows, Hearth Fire came out. So to me, this is about relating and about community and about how we do that. So that's just sort of going to stand there above the reading. A whole bunch of cards fell out at that time. That was the only one that fell upright, so I'm taking it. All right. The Wheel is coming out. Yes, there's that big change, maybe in how we relate to people in our lives, whether it be our one-on-one partner or our families or a larger community. The ways, maybe the activities in which we participate with community, and what how much of our lives we continue to give that, and us looking for more balance is what they're saying with this Wheel card. Looking for more balance in those things, as Libra is the counterbalance to Aries, which is all about the self, right? The individual, the ego even, and this is the other side of that. Sun and Moon balancing each other at the top of this card. And 3 herons in the background. I cannot get away from these herons that keep coming up in my readings. Just tiny in the background. And those to me are about taking flight, about reaching a higher potential, about departing from a difficult situation. So we are making that turn. We are making that transition, aligning with our soul's path, they're saying, aligning with your internal guidance, particularly right now. So we've taken all of this time, this last month or so, or 2 months, they're saying, to align with our personal will, align our personal will with the divine will, okay? And that provides us a direction in which we are going, and in the direction in which we are supposed to be going. Now we're doing this amongst community. That there is sort of a beating heart of community that we exist in this 3D world. And so the choices that we're making, how we're relating to people, and what it's almost like community even involves the soul's path, in the sense that we accept or reject others' interference or help in more effectively or efficiently reaching our soul's journey, and to effectively or efficiently reach for the, you don't really reach the soul's journey, but it's sort of reach for the potential, your highest timeline along the soul's journey. We are picking and choosing our tribe. And there are going to be people that are coming up for us now, or situations that are coming up for us now, that we're either realizing, yes, these are our tribe members. These people, and create a situation in which I am empowered and they are empowered, or there are going to be people in which you are realizing that the soul contract here with the wheel is coming up for them for either like renewal or cancellation. Essentially, people who are not in alignment with your highest soul's path, and yet served a purpose for you in bringing you to the realization of that. They taught a lesson in that way, and they would probably not have been conscious of that fact, but they have played this role in our lives. And this is kind of the higher alignment, the higher awareness that as human beings, of course, they deserve love, and they deserve, forgiveness, and they deserve all these things, but we still in the end need to choose the role that they will play on our journey to our highest potential. Does that make sense? Hopefully. And that's what I'm feeling with this new moon. There is like a new sort of a new entry point for us into our highest timeline, and the collapsing of the old ones. And so I'm hearing right now that once you make the decision about who stays, who goes, I don't mean that to sound as harsh as it's coming out, but once we make the decision about where, people or situations, groups are falling in line, in the continuation of our highest soul's journey, then there is the opportunity for a quickening of the pace of sort of closing those contracts, because of the portal that's provided here along with this new moon, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is not the ease with which this transition can be made. That's if you allow it to be easy, right? We can always make things more difficult for ourselves, but the ease with which this transition can be made is not always available in the same way. The energies are aligning right now. I don't know why. Can't tell you why. That's just what they're telling me. And if I had more time to do an auto write, they would tell me why. But I just want to get these messages out to you. So the end of this. All right, bring it back, Emily. Bring it back in. What I'm trying to say to you is it's easier now if you can make those decisions, okay? Things are more likely to align for you. Now, if you feel in your highest guidance that it is not time for you to change a contract, then don't do it. Follow your highest guidance. Follow that inner voice, okay? The woodward just came out, number 11 in this deck, and so that to me, it feels like follow your inner voice, follow your sort of a balanced, they're saying the word adjudicator. So this is like your internal sense of balance. All right. Oops. God, these are coming out all weird, but they're not flipping for me to see, so I am not taking them. All right, let's get some additional messages, please, for the new moon in Libra, for the collective, and for this week as well. New moon in Libra messages for the collective. The Four of Bows just popped out. I was trying to get more cards, but they're starting to send me the message that this really is a time of celebration, whether, you know, it's obvious to you or not, that you're joining with your more true soul family. And that's not exactly accurate. Those are the words that I used, but it's like you're joining with those who are aligned with your highest path. So you might be removing people from your life who had a soul contract with you and therefore are part of your soul family in some way because they have played a role in bringing you to where you are. So that role might have been very painful and challenging. But now you're aligning to a soul path which is toward your highest potential, toward the divine path, okay? And what that means to me, at least, is that we are aligning to what is like a glide path toward your soul's purpose and potential. So it's your highest timeline, essentially. You have the opportunity to align to this, and there's a lot of celebration there because everyone in your immediate soul group is doing the same. You're going to recognize each other, and you're going to be able to help each other moving forward. Let's get more messages here, please. What's this? 10 of Vessels, happiness. Yeah. Aligning to true soul happiness. That often is when you are coming into a state of balance, okay? A state of internal union, they're saying. Because you are closing off these soul contracts, which were in part to get you to that balance, but as the longer that you are in them, keep you off balance, if that makes sense. So you need to sort of take the message and cut your losses at that point, okay? I don't mean that, again, to sound, what's the word I'm looking for? Insensitive is the word I'm looking for. I don't mean that to sound insensitive. For any of those people who you may be struggling with releasing, but you know on some level are keeping you from your, this is like they just heard the words divine flow, with the waterfall flowing out of the rocks. This is your divine flow, your happiness, your highest timeline again. So they're saying that highest timeline is, or divine flow is another phrase for highest timeline. So that is what I mean. When you're in divine flow, you are in your highest timeline, your highest potential, your highest arc, okay? These people are coming in or may already be in your life in order to get you there, to be a part of getting you there. You get you there. You make the choices. You take the actions. You don't take the actions sometimes. You may need to choose to surrender taking those actions in order to get there, okay? How? Okay. So we've now got the 8 of Arrows, which is struggle. The 7 of Bows, which is clearance. And the 4 of Vessels, which is boredom. And I actually got, as I was pulling these out, that this is the clearing of the struggle and this sort of sense of disconnectedness, that this creates a reconnection. But you do need to allow the clearance. You must not hold on so tightly to anything in your life, because in the end, everything is here teaching you or guiding you through some lesson, some knowledge, some experience. I don't always, as I say, resonate with the word lesson, because I don't believe that school or life is just a schoolroom. But experience does resonate with me, because we're provided. The message I continually get over and over again is that we are source experiencing itself in different dimensions and planes. And so source doesn't need to be taught anything, but it does require our assistance in experiencing itself in every multiple, like in unending combinations. Okay, if that makes sense. So with that digression, I feel like we're setting aside, the way these are set aside, we're setting aside a lot of the struggle and sort of, not maybe boredom, but I'm not really feeling boredom so much as I'm feeling like dissatisfaction with life on the 3D plane where there's so much struggle. We're setting a lot of that aside, and yet we are continuing to operate in the 3D as we are also operating in the 4D, 5D, and higher, okay, depending on where you are in your soul's development and growth. But it is not affecting us in the same way. And so that is why they're saying right now that this is that there's a portal created at this time to allow some of these changes in our relationships to take a lot of forward movement and motion. To make quicker forward movement and to make easier forward movement. And by easier, I'm sensing that this is specifically on the emotional level, that something about the alignments created allow us, when we are truly aligned with our divine flow, as they're saying here today, that the emotional alignment comes very naturally at this time. And so ways that you might have worried or struggled or gone back and forth are not happening as long as you are really aligning with what your divine flow is, if that makes sense. Even if you're not, but you need to still accept it and then make the choice, okay? Make the choice for divine flow over and over again. Every time it comes up. Okay, I'm going to get a final message here. Final message, please, for the new moon in Libra. Final message for the new moon in Libra. The heron. It's the blue heron. The king of vessels. It's the king of cups in this deck. You're taking flight. This is allowing you to take flight. This is like, I don't want to say this is sort of the culmination of a transitional phase you've been in for a little bit. So I don't want to say it's going to stop or immediately show results, but I feel like this is you taking flight, because some of the biggest chains, the biggest baggage that we have involves our soul contracts with other individuals. And I can't stress enough how much they are pointing at the reevaluation of those soul contracts at this time with those outside of yourself. This is a pulling together of the cosmic family, they're saying. And this is aiding in the ascension process for everyone and preparing for, wow. So the image I just got for the year 2020 is basically a whole bunch of comets shooting by at once. So it's preparing for vast forward movement on the explosive scale in 2020 is how I'm getting this, okay? So know that this is very important, that this is an important portal for you to be able to do it with more grace and ease than maybe at other times. However, everything comes about in divine timing. So just know that whenever you are able to truly evaluate these relationships is the right time for you. But also know that your soul is alighting to its divine purpose at this time. If you have not known what that is, or if you don't really have words for it, then just follow the feelings. You don't have to have words for it or know every specific. Just follow the feelings, okay? This is a divine flow. That's the word that just keeps coming back. So ask source, ask your guides, ask all that help you to help you be in your divine flow on your highest timeline for your highest and best good, and you have nothing to worry about, okay? Guys, I'm going to wrap it up here for this specific message, but I am going to do a twin flame reading as well, and you can look for that on my channel. I think I'm just deciding just right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and release that to the collective this week, and then we'll go back to Vimeo for those for next week, okay? So it will be my gift to you for this week, the twin flame reading. Go ahead and check that out on YouTube. When I upload it, I have to record that a little later, but I do want to get this one out to you. Guys, don't forget that if you want to set up a private session with me, you can do that on my website, which is IamEmilyGear.com. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for being here. I love you very much. Happy to be back. Talk to you soon. Bye.